Yeah, so I didn't win the lottery.
I guess you won then.
That means, just like Okabe Dintaro, the world did not let me win the lottery. Just goes to show that the reality from Steins Gate is... If you can see the look on Billy's face right now...
Billy disapproves.
Then why are you smiling and laughing?
Two things can be true at once.
In the context of BSG, that is profound. Okay, enough with the self-aggrandizement. I'm the opinionator.
And I'm We Squared. Now, we will be recording in the middle of a storm, so if you hear air raid sirens, we either are running for our lives from a tornado or we're being pulled into Silent Hill.
If you hear air raid sirens, I would wonder what's going on. You'd be more likely to hear tornado sirens.
Shut up.
Are you expecting someone to come and bomb us?
Look, let's just pretend that what I said makes sense and move on. It's how we get through most of our episodes.
Uh-huh.
So before a tornado comes and kills us all, let's get to the favorite comment from episode 22.
Zeb Reacts writes, I agree with your statement about Okabe being even more compelling because of his reactions when things become serious. We've seen from several of his inner monologues now that he's rather self-aware about how he's acting, and that he's using it as part of his casual identity, and as a source of courage when he needs to bolster his nerves. It makes the moments when he drops it and is giving serious thought to something have all the more weight to it. When something happens that is strong enough for him to drop the act, shocking enough for him to mentally go, wait, this is serious, we the audience are drawn into that tension all the more because we are consciously or subconsciously picking up on his change in attitude, and it's throwing us off as well. And that's a very good point, because every time Okabe is like, wait, what happened? It really strikes a chord with us as well because we're seeing everything through his lens.
It's like the change from the norm is the part that really catches your attention. Whether it's in a comic scene, like him not really knowing what to do and whipping out the phone and going into full Chuny mode, or when it's in something more serious. One of the ways I've been taking that so far, that attitude change, is his way of expressing vulnerability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because doesn't he just seem weak every time?
Every time that happens, he seems just completely weak and deflated and just like...
Deflated, that's a better word than weak.
What do I do?
And like, that kind of stark contrast sometimes is really noticeable and really compelling.
Yeah, thanks, Zeb. Keep it up. About 22 hours have passed since I made my mind-blowingly awesome proclamation. I ran out of air. I didn't take a big enough breath.
Perfect! 10 out of 10! So our big plan is to send an email 16 years into the past to a pager and hope we can convince the owner of the pager to behave in a certain way.
Which is complete and utter bollocks, hullabaloo, and nonsense, but hey, unicorn farts. And then it'll make Luka a girl if it works.
Now see, the thing is, I want to believe that this won't work.
You want to believe in fairies?
I want to...
Sorry.
Thanks, now I feel ancient. I clapped too,
look,
just for the record.
Luka will clearly be much happier like this, although she may be a completely different person with no connection to anybody at this point.
That's kind of the thing.
Regardless,
I want to believe that this won't work. But if it won't, then why are they going to so much trouble and such effort over it?
My complaint is the eat more vegetables.
This is a game about science! And that is decidedly unscientific. My unicorn farts is far more scientific than that.
I just hope we get on to the sending a D-mail to a pager bit and spend less time on the eating more vegetables when you're pregnant makes you give birth to a girl. Or conceive a girl, or something.
Whatever.
Otherwise, I swear to God, this is going to turn into a nutrition podcast, and don't nobody want that.
Make sure not to eat raw meat, folks.
こんにちは。
Doo-doo-doo.
お母さん、ポケベルを持ってました。
Good thing she remembered that. Do you like how we got the ominous thunder when Luka was like, Mom had a pager, and then in real life, sending a D-mail to a pager. So we're using a network, probably from a satellite, to put it on a phone network to change to a pager network, which might actually be about the same, I guess. And 16 years.
I just hope that the electric discharge phenomenon doesn't cause our house to get struck by lightning. I don't need that kind of synchronicity in my life.
Oh God, I'm worried! Fortunately, if you guys are watching this video right now, that probably didn't happen. Probably. No, don't rumble when I say probably. Yesterday, we argued about whether it's even possible. Eventually, we settled on probably. Data is data, after all. When I was blathering about changing networks, even I came to the conclusion of, well, I guess a pager network and a phone network aren't going to be all that different.
Yeah, but saying data is kind of wrong. There's so many different formats for data, at least nowadays.
The rest will depend on the pager radio wave stations receiving our information safely and without obstruction.
Unfortunately, we won't really, if it doesn't work, we won't really have any way of knowing if that's what caused it or not.
Well, it can't cause it. We just have to change something and hope that's enough. Hope that 0.41% divergence is enough for Luka to be a girl. We already Googled how to send data to a pager. For the pagers back then, you would first enter the other person's pager number. Then, if in the Kanto region, enter *2 *2.
Ah, this is important because that means they have fewer
Right.
data to work with, to put into the text.
So if you wanted, like, katakana to, you would have to type 48?
Oh.
If you enter additional numbers after that, those numbers show up on the receiver's pager screen as symbols and letters. Needless to say, we've already obtained a conversion table. Because the D-mail Luka goes about to send, while not technically mail, will need to be converted from letters to numbers.
漆原さん、あとは過去のお母さんに向けての文章をあなた自身で考えて。僕がですか？
Well, we don't know your mother!
自分の夢を叶えたいなら、自分自身で道を切り開くがいい。俺たちがしてやれるのは、その強払い程度のことだけだ。
You know, that's a pretty nice philosophy.
わかりました。
Sign of increasing misfortune?
Oh no! He escaped, Nya! If we don't find him and kill him, misfortune will fall upon Akiba, Nya! His name is the end of tutorial. He's small and nimble, and he cries, "Choo-choo, Nya! Come here quick! Faris needs your help, Nyan!"
Are you saying that the cat maid is afraid of mice?
Look, Daymon, the lore surrounding Faris Nyan Nyan is very deep and complex. We must follow up on he. We have to find out more if we're to find and kill him, Nyan.
So instead of help, you take out the LP and it becomes he? What does that mean in context of what we're doing?
I don't think I want to ponder that very much.
A rat? What kind of cat girl's afraid of rats? You disappoint me, Faris Nyan Nyan. How sad.
I bet that would work for anyone else. I must protect Faris, Tan!
If you say Tan to anything other than your pet or your infant child, then...
I bet that would work for anyone else. We must protect Faris-chan!
Well, you didn't need to go through it again!
Okay.
We explained to Dukako the function of the phone wave named subject to change. It's best to do this with exposition. The numbers we're sending are 1-byte characters, so we can send 36 of them. The pager's number-to-letter conversion system uses 2 numbers to correspond to 1 Japanese character, which is what I thought. So that means they only get 18, except they actually only get 14? Is that right? Because you have to send *2, *2 to get
That sounds about right,
go to
yeah.
the right place? Furthermore, since you first need to input *2, *2, I'm following along. That means you can only send 16 hiragana characters. Okay. Next, I show Lukako the conversion table. Pager typing is commonly known as 2-touch typing or pager input.
Okay.
It's somewhat different from cell phone input. You choose the consonant and then input the vowel. Once Lukako had a full grasp of the instructions, he started to draft the pager message.
結構めんどいな。僕はてっきり831831831って打てばいいんだとばかり思っていたよ。
I don't know what that means. In pagerese.
どうして831なの
831で野菜じゃん上皇。野菜野菜野菜ってのルカ氏のお母様の頭にすり込めばいいのかと。
Like subliminal messaging? Just keep paging veggies, 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 veggies.
I swear to God, if somebody just starts texting me, yasai, 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 you know what I'm going to do?
Block them?
I was going to say contact the police, but because threatening people with vegetables is harassment.
Would you call them a stalker? Just want them to leave you alone?
Bunch of dang herbivores. Look, there is a 0% chance that this will do anything. But even if she followed your instructions, there's still a 0% chance that it would do anything. So why the F not?
そんなメッセージではいたずら扱いされるだけだ。
だったら29292929っていうのは
Because that's meat? I caught that one.
一応聞いてやるが、どういう意味だ？
肉肉肉肉
But we don't want her to eat meat. You're not following along, you're just making a pun, and for that you are adorable.
肉好きにさせてどうする？
違うよ。それだけ肉肉って連呼されたらね、逆にお肉見るのも嫌になって野菜を食べようって気になるかもしれないよ。
Ah, negative reinforcement.
あるはねえよ。
Actually, that seems plausible.
It just depends on the personality of Rukako's mother.
All I want from this, all I actually want, is when this works and we're talking to Luka afterwards, I just want her
Oh, her if it works.
to say, my mom told me that she got these weird messages about her diet, and she didn't change her diet at all because what the heck, why would you? That's all I want.
But then how would it have worked?
I don't know! You tell me! It can't work! The only thing that can actually work is the act of changing the past to cause the butterfly effect to make it have this effect. What you eat.
It's okay. It's okay.
Lukako completes his composition while we speak our nonsense.
I think you mean while we speak our nonsense.
こういう内容でどうでしょうか。野菜食べると元気な子を産める。
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
ちょい待ち。この変換表によると濁点も数字2個で表現しないとダメっぽい。
Oh no! How are we gonna do that? I didn't actually count. What was it? Yasai taberu to genki na... Yeah, okay.
Don't look at me!
その文章だと半角4文字オーバーする。
Because of the be in taberu, eat, like the ge in genki, like healthy.
ならば少し改変だ。野菜食うと元気な子を埋めるでどうだ？
Eat veg for healthy kid!
But that's too vulgar. That's not gonna work on a woman. Like, a woman does not ku. A woman would taberu.
Well, yeah, but you don't send a full message on a pager. It won't fit. Isn't that normal to truncate the words?
Go send a message about shooting and beer drinking to your mom. It's the wrong type of word.
Okay.
言い方が下品じゃない？
See?
相手は漆原さんのお母さんでしょ？
And
ふ
gehin.
との部分通じるかな？
Like vulgar, not really informal.
ならば代案を出してもらおうか。
This really is a puzzle. Kurisu shrugs her shoulders and says no more. And it's settled. We move to the development room and prepare to send the cooed email. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
This can't work.
When sending to a pager, the number encoded message is handled like a telephone number, so we enter the input into the Pekeropa, the X68000. The timer is set. We're ready to send the message to January 1st, 1993. Aren't they going to have to run this for 41 hours?
If our time is correct.
Yeah, if we
yes.
arithmeticed correct.
We'll see how that works for Mr. Brown.
よし、準備万端 OK だ。
Lukako's slender finger starts to tremble on top of the enter button.
いいか、起動するぞ。
We're within the window of time where the phone wave, named subject to change, should discharge electricity. Did you see it set for like 54,000?
Oh, there it goes.
The discharge phenomenon soon occurs.
And the building shakes to pieces.
Lukako flinches and takes a step back, but then I see determination flare in his eyes.
What?
And so he reaches out and grasps his own wish.
What?
0.45! Okay, so is it that the phone wave doesn't have to actually run that whole time, but just has to be set for that time? If that's the case, that makes it much more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, the instant the time effect takes effect, it'll have rewrote it so it didn't happen, and that seems to be how it works. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It does seem to be at the front and not at the back. Well, I could see what you were straining to get at, but I think what it is the time is a setting, not a required duration. The setting is entered, and then the discharge phenomenon occurs.
Okay.
And then it acts according to its setting.
Okay.
When the discharge phenomenon occurs, the data has been sent.
All right. I'm not confused anymore.
Because otherwise, they would be running it for 41 hours, since that wasn't necessary. But anyway, something happened. We'll see what it is. I place my hand on a nearby chair to support myself and close my eyes. The dizziness slowly fades.
What is happening?
Reading Steiner activated again. Did the world line change? I look around the room.
Whew! Oh yeah, because if it worked, then he wouldn't need to send the D-mail, so they wouldn't all be in the bit of preparing to send a D-mail.
Unlike what happened with Moeka, Lukako's still here. Yeah, difficult to determine. Clothes are maybe, but difficult to determine.
Rukako, I must grope you for science.
なんでですか? Lukako's appearance hasn't changed one bit. I'm paying particular attention, just like everybody else was, to his chest, and his chest, and his chest.
岡部さん、そんなに見ないでください。
Unfortunately, this is a normal reaction for him, so this doesn't tell me anything.
これは失敗か。
So the eat lots of vegetables to give birth to a girl thing Kurisu talked about, in the end was nothing but fringe nonsense!
It's so fringe it doesn't exist.
失敗って何が?
So what changed? I mean, thank God that Luka is alive!
Right?
And it's very convenient that everyone's here.
何って、お前たち揃いも揃ってボケているのか？たった今この電話レンジカッコ仮で。
That was careless of me. As our previous experiments proved, the activation of reading Steiner means that the world line has changed. And, as can no longer be denied or questioned, I'm the only one who carries his memories through the change.
いや、なんでもない。
I don't see a 5100, do you?
Well, it would be behind that curtain on the left in a box.
クリスティーナよ、一つ聞きたいのだが、ルカ子は。
This is going to sound really weird, but just bear with me.
今度はどんな変態的行為を考えてるんだ。あんたたち変態コンビは油断も隙もないな。
変態コンビじゃねえ。僕たちは変態紳士コンビだ。
Okay, man.
どうでもいい。ほんと、どうでもいい。
Rukako was looking at the cosplay magazine with Mayushi without any kind of nervousness or hesitation.
Oh, that's meaningless.
I'm just saying.
I can't ask now. It's really annoying that no one remembers. If this were the US, I could be like, hey, Lukaku, could I see your driver's license? Because that would surely take care of it, but I don't want to think about how Kurisu might react if I suddenly ask.
I'm not sure how I'd react if you suddenly did that.
There are few, if any, options that do not end in my death.
So this experiment was ultimately fruitless. Yeah, fruitless. You made a plant. Okay.
Fruits and vegetables are quite different, Billy.
I suppose you're right.
But considering how his appearance hasn't changed at all, it's very likely that the sex change failed.
She could just be flat, ya perv.
In that case, what did Lukaku's email change? It's just like the Moeka experiment. The result is different from what we expected. The result is different from what we expected. At the beginning of the chapter, I said offhand, is this whole chapter just going to be us trying to change the past but never getting past homeostasis? And that appears to be the case.
Point 4. It's less divergent than the previous one.
The real problem is that we have no control.
So Rukako, how's your mother? Did you become farmers instead of priests?
ダルよ。D メールについてどう思う？
I think it's useless since I couldn't defeat Faris.
すごいような、すごくないような。
すごくないと思った理由は？
It doesn't do anything.
フェイリスタンとのライネット勝負の結果を改変できなかったお。
Called it.
All right, lolly gentlemen.
Why are you looking at me?
What is the next thing that you are going to predict? You are in Daru's head. Daru disapproves of you.
So do I.
Now that's a selfish reason, though admittedly Billy called it almost exactly.
何度かの実験で分かったが、D メールの精度はまだ信頼できるレベルには達していない。運の要素が絡んでくるのは装置としては欠陥だ。もっと送り手側がコントロールできるようにならなければ、実用性が低いままのガラクタに終わる。
It is not that the machine itself doesn't work. It works just fine, which is amazing. The problem is that you can't actually convince people to do anything. It's not that it doesn't have control, it's that you don't and you can't. There's just too many factors. For starters, there's the problem of how I'm the only one who can recognize the changes.
確かに結果出てないよな。ロト6当てるって件はどうなったん？
I was wondering about that. So, what this means is in this current world line, they did do the Daru D-mails and they did do the Lotto 6 D-mails, but we didn't do the Moeka D-mail. Probably.
They probably did if the others happened too. Remember attractor fields. Try to keep everything as reduce divergence as much as possible. I think we should assume that they did the other stuff until they say otherwise.
I'm not going to assume that the Moeka D-mails happened. They didn't in the last one. So did we do something else instead, or were we just hanging out?
It looked like they were just hanging out.
Like it turns the actions they were taking into nothing. But that does kind of seem to be the way of least resistance that the D effect prefers? You see what I mean by that?
Yeah, the attractor fields try and get everything as neutral as possible.
So it's easier to just do nothing than having took a different action.
保留中だ。
Although it was Lukako's mistake that cost us the prize, he wouldn't have been in a position to make that mistake if I hadn't asked him to buy the ticket in my stead. Why did I do that? It's as if Steins Gate guided the money away from my grasp.
Damn you, Steins Gate! Throw me a bone here!
この法院京馬ともあろう男がこんなところでつまずいていられるものか。俺は諦めたりはしない。なぜなら俺がマッドサイエンティストだからだ。
I don't see why they don't go back to trying to get Mayushi to buy a different type of food. Shouldn't you start as small as possible instead of start with something big? They're trying to prove you can.
You want to try and get a
言
control.
葉の意味はわからんが、とにかくすごい自信だ。
あの電話レンジカッコ仮でゆくゆくは人間を、それも過去ばかりでなく未来にも向けて送り出すことができるように改良する。改良してみせる。いや、改良しなくてはならないのだ。
Okay, I'm not gonna engage with this.
それがシュタインズゲートの選択なのだからな。
And then Faris is like, aha, I detect Ocarine, time to chuny at him.
You know, the amount of vocal fry, of Muppetness in Okarine's voice is how you can determine how serious he is. The more Muppet, the less serious.
And Daymon has died.
It's hard to do, man.
Oh, good. I just want to point out, Daymon reached for his glass of water at the same time Ocarine did. And now Faris is going to get involved with the lab.
おのれフェイリス、盗み聞きとは卑劣な。
何言ってるのにゃ。京馬の声が大きすぎて店中に響き渡ってたにゃ。お待たせしました。アイスコーヒーになりますにゃ。ミルクとかむしろは入れますかにゃ。
断る。
A black coffee man, eh?
そんな京馬には全部入れちゃうにゃ。脳には適度な糖分が必要にゃ。
Meanwhile, Daru is like, Okarin-chan, is there something I need to know about? And then Okarin is like, he does his usual, like, of course not, don't be stupid. Then as he walks away, Daru, like, takes out his blowgun and shoots a poison needle into Okarin's neck. And 24 hours later, Okarin is dead. And so the others then have to use Steins Gate to keep Daru from killing Okarin. That's the plot.
出た。これぞフェイリスタンの秘技。目を見て混ぜ混ぜだ。
Aha, so this is her way of getting tips, is it?
普通ならドリンクをこぼさないようにするだけでも大変なはずなのに、フェイリスタンはそれを平然とやってのける。そこに痺れる、憧れる。
Don't forget, she even has the slight blush on her face.
この秘技により、フェイリスタンはメイクインにおける人気ナンバーワンメイドとして君臨しているのだ。
What are you, the narrator in a combat manga?
Yeah.
Okay.
なんだ。何か用事か。
続きを聞かせるにゃ。
Seriously, that's pretty irresistible.
京馬とダルニャン、面白そうなお話してたにゃ。タイムマシンがどうとかって。
Okarin, just tell her, or she's going to sweet talk it out of Daru. She's going to get what she wants.
Well,
One way or the other.
well, in that case, shouldn't he not tell her then? Wouldn't Daru appreciate that?
And that's why he's going to tell her, because he never does anything nice for Daru.
Eyes narrow.
フェイリス、とっても聞きたいにゃ。
極秘事項だ。部外者には明かせん。
The way he said that.
さっき店中に響き渡るぐらい大声で話してたのはどこの誰にゃ。
だ、
Don't.
ダルニャー。フェイリスに教えてほしいにゃ。
I knew it!
Billy,
Yeah?
are you sure you're not Daru?
Now hold on, that was me being in Faris's head.
Don't underestimate him, Faris Nyan Nyan. It'll take him a full 2/3 of a second to crack. Daru is my most trustworthy right-hand man, the wizard-class super hacker. He won't be tricked into divulging classified information.
Even though he's already spilled it twice by accident.
実はメールを過去に送れるっていうすげえマシンを作ったんだお。主に僕が。
Dude,
Yeah?
you should have held out until she mixed the drink for you and did the Faris Mixy Mixy Gaze. Instead, you just instantly dropped it. Aye.
誰？
He crumbled like a wafer! Wafers crumble?
They're very thin, I think, is the implication he's coming to.
Women are scary.
それってつまりタイムマシンってことにゃ。
そういうことになるかな。
タイムマシンを作ったなんてすっごいにゃ。フェイリスはダルニャンの頭の良さにキュンキュンしそうだにゃ。
Daru did this on purpose, because he knows that Okarin will make her a lab mem to shut her up.
So you're implying Daru is using 4D chess, eh?
Well, if someone would, it'd be him.
Predicting 87 moves into the future?
マジで？困ったな。うへうへ。
Is it really that hard to predict what Okarin's going to do in this situation? It's happened twice now.
Dumbass! What's with that stupid grin?
Ha foo.
セイリスはタイムマシンに乗って時間旅行するのが夢なのにゃ。
僕がいつか連れてってあげるよ。
だる、安請け合いするな。
ところで昔から疑問だったんやけど、時間ってどんなものなのかにゃ。
What?
This is an interesting direction to go.
何？
よく時間を川に例えて過去から未来に向かって流れてるとか言うにゃ。
This was that.
Are you surprised?
I guess I shouldn't be.
But what if you expand dimensions?
でも本当にそうなのかにゃ。もし川の流れだとして過去と未来に挟まれた現在はどこにあるのにゃ。それは点なのか線なのか、そもそもどこからどこまでが現在なのにゃ。
Like the only way to define it would be it is where we are at this moment. However, trying to understand it through this conceptual framework makes it more confusing. So that means that your understanding of it isn't wrong, it's that the framework is there's something wrong with the framework because you can't put what's plainly true in your perception into the framework.
If time is a river, then the present is the boat you're in?
Well, like what she's saying here, is it a point? That's what you just described. Like, that could be one option, but there are other things to consider, and like I said, you have to narrow it down.
そういえば漠然とイメージはあるけど真面目に考えたことはないな。
I, however, have, and I agree with where I think Faris is going with this. Like I just sort of threw out randomly with no context. Like, you have to expand your perception of the whole thing and like add an additional dimension. Now, we can't really conceive of that dimension because we're three-dimensional.
Right.
We don't know how to be four-dimensional, but it's just like an additional axis.
X, Y, Z, and, 0?
Whatever.
T?
現在は川の上に浮かぶ葉っぱだ。それは過去から未来へと流れに沿って動いていく。
Or a boat. Just saying.
Well, that's the point thing.
Yeah.
そんじゃその葉っぱに全ての人間が乗ってるって考えればいいのかにゃ。死んだら葉っぱから落ちるってことになるのにゃ。
How metaphysical.
そういうことだろう。その葉っぱのある地点より川の上流は過去、下流が未来と定義できる。
Huh.
にゃー。でもその葉っぱは人間にとっての現在にゃ。
というと？
人間が時間に単位を作って観測してるから葉っぱは現在だってわかるにゃ。けど
That makes sense.
Like I'd said, the present is quite clearly the moment that you are currently existing in. But if you don't have the conception of what a moment is, would you be able to understand that? Then if you go a step beyond that, like if we only understand the present because we can quantify it, what can we not quantify, thus are unable to understand, and is not that actually the better way to understand time, which is why it would be an additional axis,
Okay.
not like a straight line. I realize that I'm not really explaining it very well, but I'm doing it off the top of my head.
I getcha. I understand what you're saying, and yes, it is really hard to explain.
例えば全宇宙すべての生き物が絶滅しちゃった世界だと現在を観測できる存在がいなくなっちゃうと思うのにゃ。
Well, nothing would exist to observe anything. That doesn't mean that nothing exists. I do reject the idea that you have to observe something for it to exist, period.
I suspect what she's trying to say
is that time only exists as a concept through the observation of people.
What I have been expecting is that she is saying that time only exists as a concept understood by people. Okay, what I was thinking, or the direction I was thinking she was going, was that time only exists in the concept that we understand it in as people because that is all we are able to perceive. But time as a concept exists in an absolute sense,
Okay.
but we can only perceive a certain amount of it, and that is why we perceive it the way we do. That's just what I was expecting, the direction I was saying or thinking she's going. Like the mega relative, if there's not somebody to observe it, it doesn't exist.
If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound if no one's around to hear it?
That fails to be compelling for me.
その場合、どこが現在になるのにゃ?
However, that may not have been where she was going.
神様とか宇宙の意志とかが観測するんじゃね？
Right.
じゃあもしその神様が4次元的存在だとしたら、過去にも未来にも自由に生きることになるにゃ?
I mean, this isn't what I was saying before. Wasn't like some crazy observation that no one else has made. Of course, I'm not the person to have come up with that or something like that.
4D. Four-dimensional space-time is comprised of the three spatial dimensions plus the fourth dimension, time. Three-dimensional beings, like humans, can only move in the three spatial dimensions. A four-dimensional being would be able to move through time as easily as a human can move through air.
You wouldn't define it as the present, but what a three-dimensional being would call the present would be a point on the graph. Much like how if we take a graph and put a point on it, that point is a definite thing, a definite location. So too would this point on a four-dimensional graph be a definite location in like length and width and depth and time.
Yeah.
That would be what a three-dimensional being would call the present. However, trying to determine how such a four-dimensional being could possibly perceive time, or rather perceive what they would consider the present, is completely outside of our ability to comprehend.
That is kind of the point.
その神様の現在が基準になるなら、フェイリスたちの現在も過去方向に行ったり、未来方向に行ったりしないとおかしいにゃ。
Oh, what an interesting idea.
Like we're not the ones who determine what the present is, this fourth dimensional being is?
Anchoring the concept of time itself to God.
つまり、現在は観測者の主観に委ねられると言いたいのか?
No, not quite.
もしそうなら、過去と未来も主観次第になっちゃうにゃ。
You know, I suspect that what she's saying is probably closer to the truth of this game than anything that anybody else has posited.
もしタイムマシンでフェイリスが1週間前にタイムトラベルしたとしたら、京馬やダルニャンの現在とフェイリスの現在は1週間ずれちゃうにゃ。
Yes.
Well, again, that depends on your definition of different things. I suppose it wouldn't be, since we know about how attractor fields work, sort of.
そういえばそうだな。
だとしたらそのズレは葉っぱだとどうやって表現するのにゃ?
Well, if we go at it with the leaf model, wouldn't that mean that you're just taking another leaf and setting it back? Like you're hitting the pause button, you're plucking a leaf from a tree, you're setting it further back in the river, and then you're reaching out with your paused hand, you know, like you take the mouse cursor, God's black and white mouse cursor, you know? And then you like click and drag Faris and put her on the other leaf. Except what happened is there's actually going to be a world line change. So you're not actually clicking and dragging and putting her on the leaf further back on the river. You're actually going to another river that's parallel to this one, and you're putting the whole leaf and Faris on that instead.
Yeah.
Neither Daru nor I has an answer to that.
How interesting.
Yeah.
そもそも観測者の主観に委ねられるなら時計は関係なくなっちゃうのにゃ。楽しい時間は早く過ぎるし、辛い時は時間が過ぎるのが遅く感じるにゃ。つまり主観だと時間の流れは変動しちゃうにゃ。
Now you're just changing what you're talking about.
I watch pot never boils.
そういえばさ、年を取るにつれて時間の流れって早くなってるような気がするよな。
I heard a really interesting theory about this on a recent econ talk.
Do go on.
I don't remember the explanation well enough to be able to regurgitate it. Oh no. Maybe it wasn't econ talk. Then what was it?
Is this really important?
ジャネの法則だな。
Janet's Law?
とまあ、フェイリスはたまにそんなことを考えてるのにゃ。だから安易に時間を川の流れに例えるのはちょっと違うような気がするのにゃ。
Janet's Law, a perspective on the passage of time proposed by psychologist Janet.
Oh, I see. So that's what this is.
For some reason, as one ages, time seems to pass by more quickly. For example, 1 year is 1/7 of a 7-year-old's life, but only 1/70th of a 70-year-old's life. By this reasoning, the subjective length of time is inversely proportional to age.
Yeah, this is like the conventional understanding of it, and it's logical and makes sense. I'm not staking a position on this, but what I had heard was that it was more biological, that it has to do with the speed of neuroprocessing, which is naturally going to be changing as one ages. Like it has more to do with like the cellular makeup, not cellular makeup,
The amount of neural pathways in your brain. Once it's full, you're done.
Oh, that's not possible. Well, crud buckets. I just can't remembers.
Crud buckets.
It had to do with how healthy your brain was.
考えれば考えるほどこんがらがってきた罠。
Yeah, as we just demonstrated.
Starting to drift into a One Piece laugh here.
にゃにゃ。
案ずるな。俺たちが開発するタイムマシンは、そういう哲学的であったり、物理学的考察など関係なく、時空跳躍を可能にしてしまうのだ。
Sort of. Really just D-mails at the moment. I mean, I don't think you'd fit in the time machine.
My God. Is there any wonder that Faris is the #1 maid? Like, I just want to...
She is a superhuman.
I should be like, go away character that only exists for moe fetish. But instead, it's like, okay, no, she's awesome. Every time I see her.
そうそう、そういうこと。
にゃー。開き直っちゃったにゃ。
Why does that feel extra insulting coming from her?
I'll take your Gurren Lagann quote and raise you.
でも、ダルニャンたちの作ったタイムマシン、フェイリスも使ってみたいにゃ。ダメかにゃ。
Might as well at this point.
まあ、僕の権限ならフェイリスタンにも使わせてあげなくもないよ。
Of course Daru would say that.
ほんとかにゃ。約束だにゃ。
Really, you may as well. There is no downside.
Well, we don't know what sort of thing she's going to send.
ダル、勝手なことをほざくな。
Though knowing her, I bet it'll be perfect for their uses.
That's what I was thinking. She'll just go along with it, no problem.
I don't have time for another email. I saw him. Wow, remember how we were talking about Joy-san before?
No?
Well, I just saw him on the street. The real thing. I got to shake his hand. Ooh.
We weren't talking about some Joy-san.
Well, we're talking about it now because that's the point we need to focus on.
Aha! Wait, when was that? Joy-san, who's that?
Oh.
It's like I was saying, we weren't talking about that. Okay, so that means that Okarin is probably not getting mail from other world lines, but probably is just getting the actual mail.
Yeah.
Meaning that was a discussion that they had here. They didn't have that discussion where he's from. August 6, about 8 o'clock. After killing some time at May Queen, I leave Daru and head back to the lab. The only person there is Mayuri. She's working on a costume, as usual.
Yay! I love the bits with Mayushi.
マユリよ。今のお前の姿はまるで内職で夜なべしているようだぞ。
夜鍋って何？夜にお鍋を食べるの？
Oh, Billy, if only you could have understood the depth of that pun. Kids these days don't know any old fogey expressions. Wait a minute. Why do I know an old fogey expression? BSG's a bunch of old fogies, so they're different. But me, I only look old.
ちなみにね、マユシーはコスでお金は取らない主義なのです。趣味は趣味のままがいいもん。それにね、自分の作ったコスを誰かに着てもらうだけで幸せなんだ。
However, this is 2019, and now everything is monetized.
将来は服飾デザイナーにでもなるのか？
Wouldn't be surprised.
You should be really good at it. Come to think of it, Mayuri has never talked about her future, and I don't really ask any questions or listen to anybody else, so I've never provided her the opportunity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've never asked her either, come to think of it.
それは無理だよ。
だったら将来の夢は何だ？ちなみに俺は世界の支配構造を打ち崩すことだ。
マユシーはとりあえずね、このラボでのんびりやっていきたいな。
何？生涯ラボ面宣言か？その志の高さは買うが、このラボは採算度外視なのだ。飯は食っていけないぞ。
Well, you know, he was talking about the whole housewife thing, and there is no way that Okarin and Mayuri's families don't assume they're going to get married.
ねえねえ、オカリン、ラボ面6人になったね。
Oh, yeah?
こんなに増えるなんてね、マユシーは思ってもなかったよ。
Hold on. Okarin, Daru, Mayushi, Kurisu, Rukako,
Moeka.
Moeka!
That's why I said, oh yeah? Now that could just be because we moved straight to 06 from 04, but is Moeka a lab mem in this one or not? In the previous world line before we sent this D-mail, she was not. Nobody knew who she was.
Yeah.
That's a sudden change in topic.
マユシーが人質になった甲斐があったかも。
いいな。断じていいなだ。我がラボに集った者たちは全員、この俺の策略により、まんまとラボ面にさせられた連中に過ぎないのだからな。
By which to say I made the decision and browbeat everyone into accepting.
And for some reason, most of them even followed along and took it.
そういう言い方は良くないと思うな。それにね、マユシーはまんまとさせられてないよ。
そうだったな。お前は自分からこのラボに来たのだった。
Scenes like these just make me terrified that something's going to happen to her.
They seem to verify rather than terrify. She joined the lab without my ever asking. When she appeared in the doorway and offered to join, I thought she was a goddess sent from heaven.
ねえ、オカリン？オカリンはこれからもマユシーのこと人質にしておいてくれる？
You had better answer carefully, you rat-freaking bastard.
お前は人質のままでいたいのか？
痛いかも。だって人質でいればね、マユシーは寂しくないし、オカリンも寂しくないから。
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Sometimes Mayuri throws me off my game. She really is sweet. But if that's a reason for staying at the lab, then I'm happy.
ああ、そろそろマユシーは帰るね。
マユリ。帰りがけに何か食っていくか。おごるぞ。
It's scenes like these that make you realize how much he really does care for her. He may act the way that he does,
But lots of people act certain ways, and then around other people, they're themselves.
well, anyway, it's obviously a very special relationship.
本当？どうしたの？
今日の俺は気分がいいのだ。
じゃあね、キッチン二郎がいいな。
I assume it's a family restaurant.
あそこのメンチカツはね、神なのです。
She'll get no argument from me.
Placemats have sweet activities.
任せるがいい。
わーい、オカリン大好き。マユシーはとっても幸せだよ。
Well, at least she's easy to please. Mayuri and I head for Kitchen Jiro. After that, I'll see her safely to the station. From Faris.
About abilities. There's a lot I don't know about myself, Nya. Why does Faris have cat ears when other people have people ears? Why can Faris only speak in Nyanyanian? Where is my home, the Chinchilla Star? I want to know the truth. That's why I have to go, Nya, to where all the answers can be found.
By sending an email a week ago?
Yes.
Huh.
The correct answer is Nyanyanian.
Ah, Nyanyungo. Quit talking like that. It is annoying. You don't need to keep saying nya. Just, why are you mailing me?
I think after that last scene with how close she kept getting to him, the answer is obvious.
土曜日なのにご苦労。研究熱心なラブメンばかりで頼もしい限りだ。
Alright, who came?
そうよね。
Episode over, Nya.
Huh?